It is not what we have, but what we do. Let's go.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Roberto Samuel from Nigeria. I'm a big fan, and today is all about KIZAZI movies. I basically saw the screener yesterday, and I have to tell you, it was fantastic. Beautiful pictures, beautiful story. I love the font, I love the music, the clever shot, textures, the neon glows. There's so much about this. I just can't get enough of it. Briefly, I'm just going to start with Peter, right? What inspired this series, basically?
Hey, man. I think the thing that inspired this series was the same thing that I experienced when I first met a lot of these filmmakers. I came to the Cape Town Animation Festival in 2019 and was amazed by just by the creative energy, the diversity, the talent, the warmth of all the people here. And I just felt like, man, this is something the world needs to experience. And I think, I know Triggerfish Studios, which put this together, believed that there was something here worth getting out to the rest of the world. And Disney Plus agreed. They saw the same thing I did. So really, it was the creative energy coming out of African animation at this time inspired KIZAZI MOTO.
I would like to talk a little about world building. Still on Peter, before we get to everybody else. There's something about each world which they're quite unique to the particular region, particular story that we're telling. They all have similar themes that kind of carry throughout the whole series, kind of ties everything together. But individually, they're very, very unique. How do you decide what style what style or what kind of context we're going to bring in each story?
The artists are the ones who decided. The individual filmmakers, there was no creative mandate from any of us on the production side or from Disney. It was all what does each filmmaker feel is the right way to tell his or her story. That really is all it was.
Let me carry to Augusta. Sorry, I don't know if I get the name really right. Sorry. Still on the world building part of the story, how did you come up with this beautiful world?
Foster, you mean Foster, Lesego Foster, right? That's me, Foster. Not a problem. Well, yeah, my personal background is more in art direction, so it wasn't that hard. As soon as we started getting the story, the script, the screenplay in a forward direction, I started seeing the world immediately. So even from pitching phase, I started designing and doing thumbnails of this world. And the art director, Caroline, with the team over at Portfolio and some African-based artists like Yin Harry and Alfred Achiampong and, Nadia, they all came together to make this world where I could only do so much. And they actually did a really great job. And as you've seen the films, right? So you know that there's like two disparate worlds. There's Earth and then there's Hudimo. That was the hard thing, to make it really clear that Earth is opulent, but Hudimo is opulenter, if that's a word, is even more opulent. And just that distinction, it actually helped a lot to simplify Hudimo, but make it more golden and more rich. So, yeah.
Story arc. How did you decide to tell? In the very short one, the short stories, you still have to have basic character arcs, but tell a very complete story. How did you come up with that kind of stories with the themes in that kind of format, the short story format? Okay.
That is a tricky question to answer in a succinct way. We had a lot of help from Disney and the Disney and Triggerfish teams, and they gave us all the crayons initially. They were like, okay, go big, imagine big, and then slowly through the process of development, we whittled it down to its essence. But I think the focus was always on the characters and their relationship to one another and that kind of emotional bond that they have. And that kind of ties all the kind of aesthetics and stuff together. It always had to have a heart.
My last question to the next one we got is, we do have a lot of stories in Africa. So why did you decide to tell that particular story that you tell? Why?
Yeah, so my name is Isaac. My film was Hatima. And I have a co-director who happens to not be here, Terrence. And the original story was his. I think the idea of an African village that lived under the ocean, and that's kind of the idea where it came from. He's a very visual thinker, and he thought about these like kind of blue Africans, and he showed me some drawings he was doing. It was very exciting. And I think what we wanted to do was kind of use that world to kind of tell a bigger story with some themes that are difficult for us to talk about sometimes, which is sometimes the conflict that we have amongst ourselves as Africans. In South Africa, we have a lot of xenophobic tensions and those types of things. So we thought it was a great platform because we had these two worlds once again. We had the villages on land and the kingdom on land, and we had the underwater kingdom, which looked very, very different. And we thought that could play out nicely in telling these bigger stories that I think a lot of Africans could relate to, but at the same time keeping it very epic and beautiful and majestic and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, the story just kind of came out organically as we started putting all the pieces together, took some twists and turns along the way. But I hope that people I hope they enjoy the ride, is what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Beautiful. All around, it's just beautiful. I can tell you that as a kid, I see myself with these words. Like, it's like I've met these people. Like, that was my uncle. It's like that was my friend. Like, it felt so real. And one more question I have two more. Is again the short period of time that I have. I'm so excited. I'm sorry, Peter. I want to talk about the challenges. Like, we work with a lot of creatives. Like, I've seen the roll call.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, it's a lot. And even from, a whole lot of actors and our very own caring about all here in Nigeria, definitely would, talk to me a little bit about what the challenges is coordinating all of that, bringing everybody together, getting them to fit in that box, that creative box.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest challenge was just what you just said, was like getting everybody, keeping everybody communicating, being able to sort of organize. I mean, we had amazing production teams working across continents, across countries, across time zones. The issues that we had were never creative, and we had this fantastic, just every filmmaker on this team was just great in every possible way, and was open, and everybody just wanted to make the best possible films. Really, the only challenges were getting it all together from a logistical point of view. Just, it was just about keeping people communicating, really, and it was all remote. It was during the pandemic, but despite that, you look at these films, you can't tell, they're all I think at least what the creators wanted them to be. They certainly are what I wanted them to be and what Disney Plus was hoping for. I mean, the challenges, whatever they were totally worth it. We're so proud of these.
Last question. I think I'll have Peter answer this one. Is the last one. Basically, Disney has been known for a lot of short films, series.
That's for me again.
Why Africa now?
Yeah, I think I think the world is sort of ready for new voices in entertainment and art and culture. I think Africa, the continent as a whole, and of course all the different cultures and countries that make up Africa, haven't had the right opportunities presented to be able to speak to the rest of the world in this kind of way, and I think the rest of the world understanding that where Africa is in relationship to popular culture, in relationship to animation, movies, art, music, all these things. I think I really do feel like it's an explosion of culture and talent that the rest of the world needs to see. You know, there's so many ideas, so many perspectives here that are going to be like I think like water in a desert for the rest of the world. People here really have something to say, and I think the rest of the world is ready to hear it.
Beautiful all around. Like, I can't wait for the whole world to see these movies. They're just fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Good to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Open your eyes. It is not what we have, but what we do. Let's go.
We are headed to the big leagues, Jaya Army! From the ruins of great Zimbabwe!
You are a disgrace to your name, kiddo.
I should be out there making them pay!
Moon?
You will not have him again!
You chose this fate.
You think that's fast? Watch this.
All right, let's play. Ready to meet your ancestors?